Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Atlanta Falcon Nation, what it do? We got the Tuesday night heavy hitters. Hey, it's the season finale.
Oh
I
yeah.
know it's gonna make a lot of people sad, but like I said, we ain't going nowhere. It's just Falcon season is over. So
Yeah.
let me go ahead and I'm gonna introduce the fam. Um, Hold on, let me look up this way. Okay, if you look up that way, it's Mr. Mad Mike Sports.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm not having my hairline today, y'all. I got my hairline free. Okay, I ain't like you.
The mad scientist. And hold on, let's see who else we got here. Oh, I know y'all see that guy right there. That's Mr. Jude Talk Sports.
And Miss Maggie just saying, "Hey people, how y'all doing? How you doing?"
God damn it, Anime, I'm trying to make this thing epic. Like, Anime,
love y'all. Bye.
Well, that's an outtake for an intro. What's going on, fellas? How we doing this glorious night?
Glorious. Yeah, man. I'm good. I'm gravy, man.
Like I said, since this the season finale, I'm going to debut my McLovin shirt. So y'all know it is McLovin.
Hey man, I love McLovin. How can you not love McLovin? Come on, bro.
That. Yeah. All right, man. Let's get to this. Oh, hold on. Since let you say free the hairline, let me go ahead and reveal mine. Okay.
Hey.
I'm on the Jet Li side of the game, so don't deal with it.
Hey, man.
All right, so before we get to what we talking about, let's go ahead and give a couple of the shout outs that's going on here in the chat. We got Mr. Fred Moore Jr. He the first one in here. Harrison the Bunny 2. Of course, Atlanta Nation with the free the hairline hashtag. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Who else we got? We got Andrew G in the building. William Smith. Got Chaos ATL, Antonio Rakeshaw, Joseph Thornton, Carrie Camellia. That's a new name I haven't seen. Cookie by Nature. That's the homie right there. King Quest 710 and Twisted Torch. I get Jay for 7-2. Hey, we starting off a little heavy over here, man. Mike, what you got? What you got for us today, man? What we talking about?
They want me to take the hat off? No, they said take off all hats. Y'all want everybody to free the hairline?
Fuck it.
The last show.
But the last show, you might well.
Wave
chat. Oh man. All right, Mike. What we got going on, man? Because I see people already coming in asking about Joe Brady for head coach. Lord have mercy. I think Mike. Hold on. Mike.
The hairline.
Mike, you gonna have to unmute that thing, man.
You never find.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
Boom. A hairline like mine.
Hairline like mine. Yes, sir.
I had to do it.
Hey, man.
Said a woman that ain't on the goddamn thing. So hey, all right. So what you got for us, Mike?
Hey man, since he came with that brilliant, the question about Joe Brady kind of leads us into the topic that I want to lead off with, and obviously you guys can see if you haven't heard my news rant. Really pissed me off to see that. It really made me angry to see what I saw just coming from Raheem Morris. So I'm gonna give him a little bit of leeway with this. But Raheem Morris wants running coordinator Mike McDaniel. Does that name sound familiar to any one of you guys?
It ain't Josh McDaniel. It ain't familiar to my head.
It's familiar. Why? Because he is the running game coordinator for Kyle Shanahan. Yeah. Yes. Kstylz. Yes, bro. That's why I was really pissed off. Why am I pissed off?
Got a question. So
go ahead.
so basically what you're telling me is this is his way of asking Kyle Shanahan to come back.
Hey, man, look. You can draw your own conclusion to it. But I'm going to say this. And what really pisses me off the most about this is this guy knew the running game was a problem. They been knew the running game was a problem. But they had a philosophy in mind that was bigger to them than the team. You knew all along that the Falcons could not run the ball. You knew all along that Dirk Cutter did not like to run the ball. But did you, as a interim head coach, and look, the interim head coach had complete power over the game plan and everything, says Arthur Blank. They gave him complete control of how they would attack the defense and teams going into each week. So for 12 weeks, we did not run the ball. But the first thing that you say when you're going for a head coach position, you bring in Mike McDaniel, a running game coordinator. You knew all along that this was a problem, but you did not say once in a press conference, we need to establish a running game, and we need to, for one, have the offensive coordinator stick to the run. Week after week, we saw Quadri Olison on the inactive list. We saw him totally misuse Todd Gurley and Edo Smith and add Brian Hill to that. So we got 4 running backs on the roster, and all along, Dan Quinn knew there was a problem. Raheem Morris knew there's a problem. Everyone knew this was a problem, but no one wanted to establish a run. Why would you decide to bring an offensive or running game coordinator as your offensive coordinator, and you had all this time with the Atlanta Falcons to establish a run the last 2-3 years? So everybody knows the last 2-3 years that was a problem, and now you want to hire an offensive coordinator. You want to hire a running game coordinator. That tells me that these, exactly what we've been saying all year, they did not give a damn about these players. They only cared about their agenda. I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you take from this, man?
Want me to run with it, Kstylz?
I'm looking up at you. Go ahead and do it.
Hey, personally, I think it's just what Mad Mike was saying. Like, my biggest problem with it, not so much, y'all know how I feel about the trenches and running the football, but my biggest issue with it was like with Raheem Morris, it's like he called out the players, but he wouldn't call out the coaches. And that's what Mike was talking about earlier in his video and what he's talking about now about these coaches kind of sticking together. And to me, I mean, they all should have known that they were on the hot seat. So I feel like with Raheem Morris, what I'm not understanding is he knew he was auditioning for like this head coaching position. So why wouldn't you do everything in your power to win games and you want to look good? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, if I'm Raheem Morris heading into that interview that he had, which I'm not too sure why they even gave him an interview, but, you know, I guess just for the politics reasons, like say Raheem Morris, God forbid, ends up getting this job. I'm a lose all faith in Arthur Blank and Rich McKay if he ends up getting this job, the head coaching job. because I don't know if you guys been looking like on ESPN and stuff like that, but I was looking at some little chart that they had or something they had on ESPN on the ESPN app where it was basically saying the best coaching candidates for each team. And they had like Raheem Morris, and I forget now. I know it was Raheem Morris. They said that he had the best odds, or for them, they felt like he's the best candidate for the Falcons job. Personally, I don't agree with that. I feel like with Raheem Morris, to me, he didn't do everything like Mike is saying. He didn't do everything in his power to like. If I was an interim coach coming in, I would have tried to change a lot of stuff because I want to show them that, hey, if y'all give me this head coaching position, this is what I'm going to change, or this is what I'm going to do. Why would you wait to the end of the season? We kind of have seen you coach 11 games. That's a big sample size. Like 11 games, we've seen what you can do. And from what you showed us, I wouldn't want him as a coach. Like poor clock management. Doing the same stuff that Dan Quinn basically was doing, playing soft coverage when we get a lead, going away from what works. We see blitzing is working and letting the players be aggressive is working. But on 3rd and long, what were we doing? Dropping back into sticks defense. So we were reverting right back to what Dan Quinn was preaching all along. So that's my biggest issue. I don't care about the Mike McDaniel. I feel like maybe he's learned his lesson because we heard in the press conference that Arthur Blank and Rich McKay did. They said basically the biggest issue with the Falcons this year was pass rush, and we need to fix the running game. So I guess this is his way of kind of like trying to get in their good graces. Like, well, I'm gonna bring in somebody that's run heavy that understands the running game, so he'll be on the good graces with Rich McKay and Arthur Blank. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like he's kind of brown nosed, but at the end of the day, I feel like it doesn't matter because we've seen what you can do for with this 11 game sample size, and you didn't prove anything to me. You proved that you were a Dan Quinn disciple, like you were going to do everything that Dan Quinn preached. So in that breath, we need to move on because we're just saying Dan Quinn part 2.0, and our whole our whole gist. If you've seen the interview with Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, we want to move away from everything that Dan Quinn was preaching. We're trying to get away from that. So if you want to get away from that, you need to get away from everybody on this staff. And that's what we've been saying because they're all Dan Quinn disciples. As much as I like Jeff Ulbrich, he also is a Dan Quinn disciple. So, yeah, I like some things that he did. But the point is we need to clean house, period. We just need to clean house. I don't care what these guys are saying because if you guys remember when Dan Quinn was here, he was preaching we need to run the ball more. He came from Seattle. Yeah. Seattle runs the ball and plays defense. He was saying that when he was here, and we still started off 0-5, and he didn't discipline Dirk Cutter either. He didn't take none of his privileges away. So at this point, it's like these guys are saying one thing in the media, but on Sunday we were saying a whole different thing. So I don't care what Raheem Morris is talking about now about who he wants to hire. Do that in Jacksonville or do that wherever you're going. I don't want to see him here in Atlanta, period. I want everybody that's on this staff gone. I don't want to see none of these guys still here. None of these disciples of Dan Quinn. We need to move in a totally different direction. So clean house, bringing a whole new GM, bringing a whole new coaching staff. We need to sweep everybody because if you keep any part of what Dan Quinn had here, we seen last year, and I really need to apologize to the fans because as a content creator, and me and Mike has talked about this. If you guys go back on my channel maybe 6 months ago or even last season, I was one of the ones when we turned things around saying like, yeah, we can bring, continuity. We can build off of what Dan Quinn is preaching. Like maybe he can come back and fix things because we've seen over this last half, we beat the 49ers. We beat the Saints at home on their home turf. So maybe they have turned things around. But then when the season came back around, we were 0-5 again. So it's like, to be honest, I have to apologize to the fans. And I have to say that I was wrong because I was one of those preaching, like I was sipping the Dan Quinn Kool-Aid too. Like maybe he has figured it out. But evidently, that was all smoke and mirrors. He just did everything to keep his job. And once he kept his job, we saw the same exact thing we saw in the beginning of the last season. That's why we started off 0-5. So at the end of the day, I was misled as well. I was wrong.
Yep. Gotta say the same thing, man. Oh, there goes Kstylz, man. He ain't feeling it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that too because This you have to remember. This coaching staff, the Dan Quinn coaching staff. That's what we're gonna have to call them. The
His
Dan
disciples.
Quinn coaching staff. No, damn that, damn the disciples. Dan Quinn coaching staff
Yeah, man.
has had more 0-5 starts than any other coaching staff in the last 15 years.
Mm.
Like I said, when we talk, and like I said, I would apologize to everybody too, because I'm sorry that we all had to sit through this culture of ineptitude, throwing people under the damn bus, and not holding coaches accountable. Because at the end of the day, even as an interim head coach, you have to show these people that you are a capable leader, which is called, like I said, pull your coaches to the side and come up with solutions to improve the game plan. Now, if we look at Raheem Moore's track record this season, how many leads have we had? I'm just asking you, how many leads have we had?
Man,
Look,
With the 4-7 record, how many leads have we had?
At the end of the day, look, we lost 8 games by 1 possession or less, 6 points or less, and that's right there is unacceptable. Period.
Harrison the Buddy said Popeyes to save us from the evil. Nah, Popeyes can't save us from this shit. Man, churches can't save us from this motherfucker. All right, let's go. Hold on. Let's do a track record on Raheem Moore's intern. Okay. Where can we start? Where do we start at? Let me see. Where was that? The Vikings game?
Minnesota. We won that game. Mm-hmm.
Won the Lions game.
Lost that game.
Defense gave up a touchdown in 50 seconds to a Detroit team with no timeouts.
50 seconds, bro.
Well, let's go back a little bit, Kstylz. That's the game where Todd Gurley scored where they could have just kneeled. So that we're gonna blame that on the coach too. They wouldn't even have 50 seconds.
Damn that he was going for an incentive. So we still gonna put the defense. These motherfuckers drove 75 yards in 50 seconds in 3 throws.
Yep.
And I got a question for you. That last touchdown that Tampa Bay scored Sunday, did that look familiar to you? I'm just asking. Did it look familiar to y'all or anything? It was the same exact coverage they did when they lost against Detroit. The same thing happened.
Oh, wow.
You know, man, we love soft zone. Soft zone is what you call it, the OnlyFans defense. Yeah.
No, that's no. The Suki Hana defense.
Hey,
that's my new name for it. Amber Rose, slut walk, whatever you call it, all that. It was just bust wide open. So, all right, let's get back to that. You lost to the Saints twice when you could have been up. Let's see what else we have. That's 4 right there.
We got swept by the Bucks and the Saints. Yeah, we got swept both by both.
That's 6. Like I said, Green Bay. Like I said, it just bruh, that's all. That's the best word to put it, bruh. Really? You telling me we won
this year, Kate? This is this year. These are not 2-3 seasons worth. All this is this year.
This year was history making. We made history
for the wrong reason.
For the wrong reasons. Yes, ATM 34 offside said it best, and I said on show. This is the same coach that said he didn't prepare for Russell Wilson, but he prepared for Chris Carson.
How do you?
He should have been fired right then after the first game. He should have been let go right then, immediately.
How do you, as a coach, how do you, as a defensive coach, say you don't prepare for the best player? Who the hell? What the? Are you serious? Better yet, Falcons fans, are you serious for wanting this guy? He said he didn't prepare for the best. Are you kidding me? That
Russell Wilson
came in his mouth.
Bruh, last year Russell Wilson was voted in the top 5 best players in the NFL.
And you didn't prepare for him. That's like not preparing for Julio Jones. Just letting Julio Jones single up on the corner, like the Carolina Panthers did. They just let him. Julio won for 300 because they absolutely refused to do anything to Julio.
And Tipsy Gangar said the other thing too. This is the same guy that said he was scared of Tom Brady.
Yeah, man, that dude. Look, that dude, man. I don't see how anybody in the football world respect that dude. That is unbelievable.
Like you want to give him a chance, but you look back at it and it's like, okay, Mike McDaniel, OC, run coordinator. You might well just beg for Kyle Shanahan to come back.
That's essentially what you're saying. That's essentially he's right now. He is trying to live off what Kyle Shanahan has already built, what Mike Shanahan has already built. He has no ideas. So he's trying to run back to. Never mind. I was about to say something.
Hold on. Joseph Thornton. He brought up a good point too. Timeouts and leaving rookie on A. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to the Well, since he's part of the Dan Quinn coaching staff, he's gonna have to get a blame on this. The Dallas game when he challenged the reception, and it was complete reception. What other game that he challenged something? I think it was one of the Saints games he did.
The recent one, I think it was a reception as well. He challenged that.
Yeah, it did. Right. It was that the game before the last game? I think that was a game. Not Tampa Bay, but the game before Tampa Bay, whoever we played.
Kansas City game.
Kansas City. But my biggest problem is the whole coaching staff is incompetent. Because if y'all think about it, the special teams coach against Dallas tell these guys to back away from the football instead of landing on it. Like, this is what Mike is talking about when he did his rant earlier. It's like we don't have no coaches on this team that are alpha males that'll step up and say, look, this is what we need to do. Like, if I'm on a coaching staff, I don't have to be the special teams coordinator or the special teams coach. But if I hear the coach saying, when they kick this onside kick, y'all back away from the ball, I'm like, no, what in the heck are we doing? If y'all go jump on that football, we can win this game, period. So that's where Dan Quinn, that's where Raheem Morris, that's where everybody on this coaching staff messed up. Even Jeff Albrecht. Everybody's on that sideline. When the game is on the line, I don't care what coach tells them to do the right thing, but somebody got to speak up. And that's what Mike is talking about. Somebody has to speak up.
Somebody has to say, like, if you hear someone barking dumb orders, like, you're not going to turn around and it's like, hey, what are you doing? Are you going to challenge your fellow mates? Like, this is the thing I'm talking about. You can't be sitting back quiet and like, okay, I'm just going to sit back and wait and see what's going to happen. Like, no, we're trying to win a game. We're trying to win games. I don't know if these guys are deliberately throwing these games. I don't know if they're trying their best to just, get fired or, make whomever look bad. I don't know what the hell they're trying to do, but the shit is absolutely pathetic from what I'm seeing.
You see the hand up, right? Do you want to relive this?
Exactly.
Do y'all want to relive that?
Y'all see all them black jerseys just watching the ball?
Do you really want to? Because the problem is it seems like we lose the same way, but in different ways. I've never seen a team lose a football game by scoring a touchdown. I've never seen that. I didn't know that was possible.
But this squad does. We find a way. We find a way to lose every time.
Like I said, brotherhood. Like I said, the way that the coaching staff is, like everybody, that's not brotherhood. If you gonna hold your players accountable, you have to hold the coaches accountable as well. Actually, you should hold them more accountable too, because they have to set the game plans. Now, I understand is your game plan works until you get punched in the mouth, but you have to make adjustments. And that's been the thing that killed the Falcons all season was lack of adjustments. We let a tight end out. We let a tight end beat us in the passing game twice this year.
I'm just and like Big Country Low said, man, it's like not only did we not fall on the ball, but immediately the defense just folded. This is the guy that you want because look, I'm gonna say something controversial, and I really don't give a flying fuck if you like it or not. But it's to the point where it has to be addressed. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't really care about any of you Michael Vick fans. You guys can unsubscribe. Please unsubscribe if you actually. But Michael Vick is the worst thing that ever happened to this organization. I'm just going to be real. Why? Because that's all black people want now. They don't want anything better. They don't want championships. They don't want a better coaching staff. They don't want to hold players or coaches up to a standard. All they want to do is be entertained. And that's no fault on Michael Vick. It's no fault on Michael Vick. But it's the culture, the fans. We have been so spoiled by the greatness of what Michael Vick has brought to this organization. Michael Vick brought that excitement that we lost with Deion Sanders. We lost it with Deion Sanders. So we got Michael Vick. It was like, oh shit, we got our new Deion Sanders. We got another Deion Sanders. And that's all we care about right now. We don't care about wins or losses. We don't care if the defense giving up, historic. But they literally are historic for being horrendous. And the fans, you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, we don't even hold each other. We don't even hold a defense to a standard. All we care about, we think drafting a quarterback is going to fix every issue. How is drafting a quarterback is going to fix coaching? How is it drafting a quarterback is going to fix, a better GM, having a GM that actually knows what he's doing and doesn't have a agenda? How is that going to fix this organization? Drafting Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, that's not going to fix what this organization is. We have been spoiled as a franchise from the greatness of what Michael Vick is. And it's all because of a lot of you black people. I'm just going to be real. You ain't going to like it, but it's just a fact. You won't give Matt Ryan a chance. This dude has won MVP, just broke another NFL record. He set a record in his MVP season. Just think about that. Broken records in his MVP season. And not only that, the dude got us to 2 NFC championships, went to a Super Bowl, and no other quarterback in the history of this. Deion Sanders didn't do that. He didn't give us that. But all Falcons fans want now is to be entertained. All I want to see is a black man running fast and getting first downs. They don't care about throwing the ball. They don't care about interceptions. They want to be entertained. We have to get better as fans. Got to get better as fans, man. And a lot of these content creators, we got to start teaching instead of being hypocritical, biased fans. Because like I said before, this is not about me and my love for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is 35 years old, soon to be 36. His time is ticking. We're not Julio Jones as well. But we got to do what's best for the organization. And just this year, drafting a quarterback, and I did the numbers. The salary cap on the last Joe Burrow. This is just the first quarterback. This is the first quarterback that was taken last year. Okay, we're gonna look at his contract. His contract, okay, $36 million. 3.9 guaranteed, an average of $9 million a year. So that's $9 million you're going to be paying, and it goes gradually. Each year it goes up at least $2 million. So next year, you draft him this year, that's $9 million. This is just this year. So it may stay the same, just being on because of the salary cap. And we don't know what the salary cap is going to look, but it may stay the same. So it may stay at $9 million a year for his base salary, but each year it goes up. So it can go from $9 million, $11 million, and then his third year that's $13 million for a guy just to sit on the bench. Are you willing to pay a guy $9 million just to be a backup and watch Matt Ryan?
What you got, Drew?
I mean, I agree with what Mike was saying. Like, if you guys watch, and I know you guys watch, but everybody in the chat, if they seen the interview or the press conference with Rich McKay and Arthur Blank, I kind of blame them too, because the last couple of years, how they say, well, we were close to winning a lot of games. I don't care about being close. We need to get the job done. And that's the problem too that we have. We need to become more of a blue collar team. Right now, I feel like we're not putting the work in. Like, we have to win games no matter how it looks. Because like y'all were saying, and Terror Artist 404 made a good, when you put his comment up, he said we want to actually look good instead of actually being good. I don't care how we win. I just want to win at the end of the day. And that's why I said, you guys know I want an offensive minded coach, but I said on my 2-point conversion during the post game show was, even if it's a defensive minded head coach, I really don't care. I just want to win a championship. Whoever can bring the championship to Atlanta, I don't care if they white, they black, Asian. I don't care what race. I don't care even with the quarterback. Like when they were talking about the quarterback change, they were saying we want a coach that's going to come in and that's going to win now. They're going to have like a beginning, middle, and end, basically. Like they're going to have a long-term plan, your short-term plan, and in the middle. So I feel like the biggest issue is I don't believe you can win right off the bat with a rookie quarterback. So I feel like our best chance to win now is bringing a coach that can win with the assets that we currently have on the team. Because if you start trying to restructure the whole team, like basically like a rebuild, it takes time to build chemistry with the players. If you're changing the whole, you breaking the team down and bringing in a new quarterback, you're changing the whole defensive philosophy. Instead of using the players we have, we're going to trade like a Deion Jones or a Grady Jarrett, one of these players that's already like the core unit. What I feel like the Falcons need to do personally is bring in a coach that can work with what we have, work with the building blocks we have. Because I feel like the players, the core unit that we have is fine. I just feel like we need the ancillary pieces that can come in here and work with Matt Ryan, work with Julio Jones to get us to a Super Bowl. Like, I really feel like we are close. Like when they were saying we're close, I do believe we're close, but I do believe also you have to bring in the right coach that can work with what you have. Because if you just bring in a random coach, they may not be able to work with the talent based off of their scheme. You see what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing is if you're going to bring somebody in that you want to win now, they have to be able to work with what we have. So that's why we were talking about the 3-4 scheme. Like based off of what we have right now, we don't have a ton of defensive ends. We don't have a lot of big defensive tackles, but we're closer to running a 3-4 scheme than a 4-3 scheme. If you do a 4-3 scheme, we're going to really have to pretty much blow the whole defense up because we don't have the edge rushers that we need to run a 4-3. So we're better off right now because we have all of these good outside linebackers and great linebackers. We'll be better off going with a 3-4, but you have to bring in a coach that knows how to use these players and put them in position to succeed. That's what we've been talking about. You know what I'm saying? We have to bring in that because right now, if we think about it, we don't even have on the offense really the players to be a power team. We would need to bring in probably another running back. We probably gonna have to bring in, like Mike was saying, another tight end. And then we'll have to figure out what we're going to do because right now we run a lot of 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. So it's going to be some tweaking that has to take place to really figure out, to make this team a championship team. Because right now, to be honest with you guys, going into last season, I thought bringing in Dante Fowler and some of these guys, Tat McKinley, I thought that we had a championship roster. But now rethinking it and looking at the roster on defense, we didn't have a championship defense this past year. Like if we were going to win or be competitive, like in the playoffs, we were going to have to do it strictly based off of our offense because we don't have the piece. Like if you look at our defensive line, we've talked about it. We don't have a championship defensive line. We can't get after the passer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's ways to around that. And I really feel like kind of what Mike was saying too, when he says Michael Vick was one of the biggest issues. I feel like another huge issue was that Falcons team in 2016 just overachieved. And being that they overachieved, that really spoiled us too, because we thought in our heads that, man, we're the New England Patriots, or we're one of these teams that are legit contenders year in and year out. And basically the team that we had, you can't win consistently with the team that we had, especially when all of the players started going down with injury. And then we lost Kyle Shanahan because really we were an offensive dominant team. And then we had guys that didn't live up to the hype, like Vic Beasley, because they were not used in the correct ways. And we overlooked the ancillary pieces that were here. Like how I keep talking about the ancillary guys, we overlooked the Jonathan Babineaus. We overlooked the Dwight Freeneys. We overlooked those guys that were veterans on the roster that really pulled the team together. You know what I'm saying? You need that on your team because we had a lot of young guys, but those guys had to mature. That year we had on every level, if you guys remember, on every level, we had that veteran guy that kind of brung everybody together, helped these guys along. Even the linebackers. We had in the linebacker room, we still had a Sean Witherspoon that could kind of help out the Deion Jones of the world, help out the Devondre Campbells. On the defensive line, we had the Dwight Freeneys and the Jonathan Babineaus that were still playing at a high level too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people say, well, we got the veterans, but we don't have veterans on this team that are playing at a high level. Like Rico Allen is one of those guys we keep talking about. It's like, yeah, he's a captain on the back end, but at the same time, he's fell off. Like he's not the player that he once was.
Boy, has he.
So it's kind of like you can tell people, you know what I'm saying, where to be and stuff like that, but they're looking to you to lead by example, and they're like, you getting smoked. So why am I listening to you? You know what I'm saying? Like we got guys literally saying, I'm gonna listen to you. You look like a bum. You worse than me. So why am I listening to you? You know what I'm saying?
Although since Jew had preached there, I'm gonna do something right quick. Preach, Jew, preach.
Look, all we need is an organ.
But yeah, and we also have to remember that 2016 team, we started off 5-6.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no super duper season. They caught fire at the right time.
Right.
And
Matt
like you said,
Ryan carried that team. Matt Ryan got hot and Matt Ryan didn't let up. Period, point blank. Let's just be real. Matt Ryan
we had an actual running game too, Mike. We actually had a running game too. So it's like a lot of those games where we had leads. What I always say: how do you end games? Run the football and rush the passer. We got them huge leads, and what happened? We gave the ball to Freeman and Coleman. We drained the clock out, and then we let Big Beasley and those guys that's come off the edge. Him and Freeney was eating. You know, it's a reason Big Beasley led the league in sacks. We forced teams to be one-dimensional because we were up by so many points. We knew all they can do at this point is throw the ball. We took the running game away from other teams by Matt Ryan in that aerial attack. You know, us on offense scoring touchdowns. And another big thing you were saying, Mike, you got to remember too in that season, we just talked about it. This team efficiency in the red zone is horrible. Like we 31st. When Kyle Shanahan was here, we was putting the ball in the end zone so we could run the football. So when we got in there, we could pound the ball, you know, and with our creativity, Matt Ryan was throwing touchdowns and we was running for touchdowns. So it's like,
and I'm glad you said that because I want to go into this topic. That's a perfect segue to the topic that I want to talk about. But this is the reason why this needs to be addressed. I'm probably the Kyle Shanahan, and I'm just going to be real about this. We owe Kyle Shanahan an apology for one reason and one reason at all. For one reason, and that's pretty much it. The guy's one hell of a coach. One hell of a coach. He knows exactly how to win games. But the issue with him is that his ego gets in the way. The reason why I'm apologizing to Kyle Shanahan, because we got some stupid ass coaches on this damn. These motherfuckers are stupid. How in the hell do you tell your players to back away? Back away? That's something that Kyle Shanahan would have never done. How do you tell your players that we're just going to abandon the running game and say, Matt Ryan, the entire year we're just going to throw the ball some more, and then we're going to sign Todd Gurley, which was absolute waste. And we got 4 running backs on the roster, and we don't use any of them. We didn't use Todd Gurley. We didn't use Ito Smith. We didn't use Brian Hill. And we damn sure didn't use Quadri Olison. What the hell do we have 4 running backs for what? You're not going to use these guys. Kyle Shanahan uses all 4 of his running backs. That's something he would have never done. And now all of a sudden you're looking for a head coaching job. Now you want to bring in Mike McDaniel? Like, what is this? So Kyle Shanahan, I want to apologize to you for you being a smart, intelligent head coach, because I did not know how stupid this organization and the coaching staff were. I had no idea that these guys were this stupid, and this right here tells us exactly why we lost the Super Bowl and why we on this historic losing streak, losing the exact same way, because these guys they do not want to change. They would much rather look absolutely horrific than change. Dan Quinn gets fired, and guess what stupid old dude? Guess what stupid old dude?
I know what stupid old dude. Hey, I know what stupid old dude. Let me show you what stupid old dude.
What stupid old dude? That's what he
short, but shouted.
This man go right back to the same shit that got Dan Quinn fired. He goes right back to the same philosophy that got Dan Quinn fired. Come on, bro. So Kyle Shanahan, bro, I apologize. These dudes are stupid. I'm gonna say this, even about Mike Smith, even Mike Nolan, those guys weren't this dumb. They weren't doing the same thing. They actually tried to switch things up to go to a 3-4 when things weren't working with the 4-3. But these guys, they stick to the same stuff. They absolutely refuse to it. So if you guys got something, on this, man, you want to expand on this a bit, but that's something that I had to get off my chest, man. I had to get that off my chest.
I'm gonna say something about this too. Like I said, Kyle Shanahan's offense, like I said, as far as the West Coast offense, getting the ball out the hands, utilizing the tight ends, is the type of offense you can win a championship with. Because especially when you have older quarterbacks, like I said, that offense right there, that type of offense right there is what helped Tom Brady, because he's a West Coast guy. Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, you cannot. I'm just saying. The offensive. If you know your offensive philosophy is not working, like I said, you running power 22s and, like I said, trying to throw intermediate routes all day, and you don't have the personnel to run that type of offense. Some should tell you have to adjust based on the personnel that you have. And like I said, people are already talking about, hell, Matt Ryan might go to San Francisco. Rumors talking about San Francisco might look at Matt Ryan. I wouldn't be surprised. because that system right there, like I said, even if you bring in a new quarterback, let's say if you do draft a quarterback with the 4th overall pick, and I'm gonna ask the people in the chat this question: do you really trust that quarterback in this offense?
Hell no.
Now,
Hell.
and like I said, I have God too said you're naming great quarterbacks and Matt Ryan is not. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the system.
Oh,
you have to,
up. You can't even name
I want to talk to this. I want to say something about this.
Let's address this now. Real quick.
Like I said,
if Matt Ryan's not great, name me one great quarterback that got an MVP. Let's stop playing like with this Matt Ryan. If you're an MVP, you're a great quarterback. If you want an MVP, you're a great quarterback. So let's put that to bed. Period.
Because the MVP is not the best team; it's who makes the biggest impact that season.
Exactly.
So you can't say he's not a great quarterback. Now, if you say that he could be better as far as being assertive, definitely. I totally 100% agree with that statement. But we cannot put this man down because of this. He's not the guy that y'all want. I mean, you got, like I said, if that was the case, y'all should have petitioned to get rid of him after 2009, to be honest with you. But what I'm saying is, in order to win offensively, and a lot of teams are doing this now, you have to have West Coast philosophies.
Have to. Yeah.
Defenses are too fast now.
Absolutely. You got to get rid of that ball. You got to get rid of that ball, man.
You got to get rid of it. And like I said, you have to put your players in the best position to do this. Not just quarterback, but your running backs, your wide receivers, and your defense had to be put in the best position. So, like I said, y'all can think about that question too. If you get a Justin Fields or a Trevor Lawrence or a Zach Wilson or a Trey Lance, do you trust that this coaching staff can really get these players to be the best players they can? Because I haven't heard nobody say anything about getting a new quarterback and not changing the coaching staff. I just hear just get a new quarterback.
No, Flacco didn't win no damn MVP. You talking about maybe Super Bowl? We're talking about NFL.
Nick Foles got a Super Bowl MVP. Anybody want Nick Foles?
That's one. That's one game. You're talking about one game MVP. That don't count. Anybody can have one great game. We just saw that with Justin Fields after he shit at the bed against damn Northwestern. We're talking about Northwestern. The dude can name damn. He got wiped out by Northwestern. Anybody can have one great game. That's it. Literally, anybody can have. You see that time and time again, where these offensive players, whether it's baseball, basketball, baseball, football, anybody can have one amazing game. Anybody can have that. Literally, anybody can get hot at any given time. We're talking about over the entire season. So I know a lot of people, dislike Matt Ryan, but when it all comes down to it, man, I know I don't know who it was, but they stated that maybe Justin Fields can be better in the end zone. How the hell can he be better in the red zone if he's inaccurate? Everybody in the NFL has a strong arm. Every quarterback in the NFL has a strong arm. You got to be accurate in the red zone. It's not about how athletic. That's a small confined space of 10 to 15 yards. Everybody is confined in there. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hit. So you have to be, first of all, you got to be mentally tough enough. Second of all, you got to be accurate. And third of all, you got to be able to read a damn defense. What are they doing? If you can't do those things, you don't have those three things, you're not going to be able to play in this league. This is what he struggled with. and this is not me trying to be quote unquote a hater. I just look, the guy isn't very accurate. I'm a Georgia fan. He couldn't beat out he could not beat out Jake Fromm. And Jake Fromm right now sitting on somebody's bench.
Hey, I want y'all to hit this question up right quick. This is CJ Goat TV. He said, do you honestly think the Falcons will win in the next couple of years?
I think we can. I just think that it depends on who the GM is. Like I was saying, you bring somebody in, like y'all said, a West Coast offense, somebody that has motion. Like I've been talking about this. Mike talked about this in his rant earlier. The game has changed. And the whole point of having pre-snap motion and things of that nature and creativity is because the defense are faster. You want the linebackers' eyes and the defensive line, the corners, safeties. You want their eyes going all over the place. If y'all were during the film study, I was in there with Big Low when he does his film study on Friday with you and him and Kstylz was doing it. And you know that one play, Kstylz, where y'all were showing, it was a play where a honey badger basically like came down. He just dove down. He thought he seen, something, so he just bit. And when he bit down, that left Ridley wide open in the middle of it, wide open. That's why you do pre-snap, motion, because you want those guys trying to guess what is happening. But if everybody's just standing still and Julio's lining up on one side, Ridley's lining up on one side, no pre-snap motion, you don't have those guys second guessing. And being that these guys are athletes and so fast, and the game moves so fast, you want to create that doubt in their mind. Like, who has the ball? That's why you see a lot of these, like Kansas City, a lot of these different teams that are doing pre-snap motion, usually they'll have a guy coming like on a jet sweep, and then they'll hand the ball off to the wide receiver, or they'll fake like it's a jet sweep and bootleg the quarterback out, and he'll still have the ball. You want to create that doubt because normally that guy on the jet sweep, somebody is taken out of the play. And it was broken down. If you guys watch DJ Shockley's on AtlantaFalcons.com, when he does his breakdown, he broke down when we played the Saints. It was a running play with Alvin Kamara, and he basically showed how Deion Jones was completely taken out of the play because of pre-snap motion. So basically, that's the reason you do it. Is you want to create doubt in the defender's mind. You don't want them to know what's coming, and that's our problem. Most teams, it came out and said it last year. We knew what the Falcons were going to do. How many times have we heard defenders say that after the game? We knew what they were going to do.
Even in the Philly game. You remember the Philly game where he threw the ball to Julio Jones here? Yeah, they came out and said they already knew. They knew what the Falcons were doing.
Yeah. So that's my point is like we have to bring in somebody that has a creative offense that's going to use the speed against them. Because when you have a defense that's constantly attacking, you can take advantage and have players over pursuit. When you have guys that are blitzing and attacking you, and a lot of teams with us, with the Falcons, because we pass the ball a lot. You know how many big plays we could have had this season because they're blitzing and they're trying to pin their ears back. That's how some of our running plays actually broke. If you go back and look at that Chicago Bears game where Brian Hill ran for that big touchdown, it was like a third down. They weren't expecting us to run the ball because we never run the ball. Mm-hmm. It just happened to hand the ball off on a late draw play. He was in the backfield like in a shotgun. He just handed the ball to Brian Hill, and everybody ran upfield trying to come for Matt Ryan. And they weren't expecting him to get the ball, and it was a running lane. So that's how you got to do it. Like you have to keep the defense off balance. And we continue to talk about it. We're a one-dimensional team. It's easy to shut down a team that's one-dimensional. And that just shows you how great Matt Ryan is because everybody knows we're passing it, and he's still getting 300 yards a game. What teams know all we do is pass. He's still balling out. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like if we get back to having an offense that is creative, Matt Ryan will be right back on his MVP level. If we can get a running game back. Because without it, with just this one-dimensional offense, Matt Ryan this year, if you go look at his stats, if you pull it up, Kstylz, I think he was like his completion percentage was like 68.5, something crazy. When you're completing almost 65% of your passes, that's great as an NFL quarterback. And that's with us throwing the ball. I think he threw the ball 600 plus times this year.
626 times. 626 times this year.
Yeah. So
Hey, but I'm about to say, I want you to go ahead and get to this question. I know this question was probably up here earlier, so we're gonna go ahead and kind of speak on it. Michael Wolf says, why do you think Eric Bieniemy hasn't gotten a head coaching position thus far? Is he missing a skill set that we don't know of? I think what the issue is it's kind of like a 50-50 because we don't know what, as an offense, what how much power he has as an offense coordinator in Kansas City, because we know that Andy Reid majority calls the plays there. Like Eric Bieniemy calls situational plays, but we don't know what it is. But we just know that Andy Reid is the majority play caller. So where the reason why he hasn't really got a head coaching position yet is because it's that uncertainty on, can he really manage a game? Can he call plays consistently for 60 minutes? Well, like I said, because right now he's banking off the reputation of being a disciple of Andy Reid. Now, Andy Reid's coaching tree is pretty good.
And we've already seen what that's done for us. You go back to Mike Smith. He lived off being a part of that Baltimore Ravens team. He took that to Jacksonville where it was semi-successful. They had a great 2 or 3 year run with the Henderson and Stroud connection, but outside of that, he didn't really produce. Even Dan Quinn, we just saw what Dan Quinn did. He was he left off the reputation of that Legion of Boom, and then he came here and it fell flat in the face. So for me personally, I don't want a guy who was a disciple of a great play caller who wasn't necessarily calling plays. That's the biggest issue. If you were a disciple of a particular person, be it Sean Payton, yeah, he coached under Bill Parcells, but the thing about that is that he was actually calling plays for Bill Parcells. So he was actually calling plays. So I don't want a guy who's not calling plays. I don't want a situational guy, because that could be just a situation where he's drawing up plays for, what we saw in the game with, Patrick Mahomes going deep on a I don't know, with a flea flicker. Like, I don't want my damn quarterback doing crap like that. Like, hell no. I don't want. He could have easily got hurt on that. What if Keanu Neal just decided he just wanted to take a free shot on Patrick Mahomes and he broke his damn ribs or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, you drew up that crap that got your quarterback hurt. I don't want my quarterback doing stuff like that. So for me personally, if he called that, that's a precursor for some things to come, to be honest, man. Because like I said, I don't want to put my quarterback in harm's way like that ever again. So I don't want a guy that doesn't have full power as a coordinator. I want a guy that has complete control over play calling.
Hey, I'm about to say, I want y'all to hit Coach's comment. He said, has anybody ever heard of Eric Bieniemy before Patrick Mahomes? That's a good question.
I actually heard about Eric Bieniemy before, and I'm gonna take a different route. I'm actually an Eric Bieniemy fan. I think that we should bring him in. The reason I think we should bring him in, though, is for all the reasons that I just said when I was just talking about. He's coming from an offense that does that pre-snap motion and does all of those things. So yeah, he might not be the person that's actually calling the actual plays there in Kansas City, but if he can bring any of that kind of style offense to Atlanta, and we can, use that philosophy with the pieces that we have, I think it could work. And that's the reason I want him here. Another thing is, if you go look at Eric Bieniemy's background in college and in the pros, he was actually a running back. So I don't see, I'll be mind boggled if he came here being a former running back and not run the football. I really think if he came here, he would bring that balance to the offense that we need. My biggest thing is what you guys have said. He's never been a head coach. I do believe that he's a leader of men. I think he's a good head coach. He will make a good head coach. My biggest thing is, I just don't want to see necessarily another retread. And that's why I was saying that I would be good with like a Arthur Smith from Tennessee, because he is the guy calling the plays there in Tennessee. And I also will be good with Brian Duvall from Buffalo, because he's the one calling the plays there. But I do think that Eric Bieniemy would be a good coach for the mere fact that he does have the championship pedigree, because he was on that staff. He's been under Andy Reid, and Andy Reid has a good coach's tree. It's proven that his tree, like if you look at New England's tree, and they keep hiring these guys from New England, name one guy from that New England tree that consistently wins. Patricia just got fired with the Lions. When Josh McDaniels went and coached the Denver Broncos, he stunk up the joint. Joe Judge, he just got the job when the Giants. He's actually doing a pretty good job, and he was a special teams coach. But one thing that I liked about what the Giants did, and you guys, to me, the New York Giants is one of the better organizations as far as knowing how to build a defense and things of that nature. What I liked about that hire was they took a chance, because all of us was like, who in the heck is a Joe Judge? But to me, they went and did their due diligence, because right now, to me, he did a pretty good job with that Giants team for his first season, for them to actually compete. Even though the NFC East was trash, to me, he turned around. Their defense was a top 10 defense this year. I don't think a lot of people realize that. And they don't have a bunch of players, well-known players there with the Giants. So I really think that Eric Bieniemy just needs a chance, and he has worked his way up. And that's one thing that I like about, too, that he's paid his dues. I don't want to see another Adam Gase getting another job and go 0-16 of all these guys that continue to get jobs over and over again. I don't want to see another retread unless it's a guy that's proven. I don't want even a Marvin Lewis. I don't want to see him here in Atlanta. I heard somebody mention Marvin Lewis. I do not want him here in Atlanta, because when he was with Cincinnati, he never won a playoff game. So I'm like, yeah, he was good with the Ravens, just like we talked about Mike Smith. He was with the Ravens. A lot of guys were there with Brian Billick and those guys, but I don't want to see another retread. I think this NFL has changed, and we need to bring in, if it's an offensive guy, somebody that's been around an offense that's creative. And I think him being there in Kansas City, they're one of the most explosive offenses. So I feel like he can take some of those things that they do, take that blueprint, bring it here to Atlanta, and I think we can have some success with it. So now if I'm wrong, I'll come back up here and say I was wrong, just like the whole Dan Quinn, because he going to have growing pains as a head coach. We know when Dan Quinn first came the first year, I think we started off like 5-0 or 4-0. If you guys remember when Dan Quinn got here that first year, and then we went on like a 5 or 6 game losing streak. I don't know if you guys remember that year when he first came in. He had even drafted Deion Jones and those guys, and he had Mike Smith guys. We had Paul Warlow, and I forget who the other linebacker was at the time. But when Dan Quinn first came in, it took time for him to bring in the guys that he wanted. So I feel like the same thing will happen with Eric Bieniemy. He might need time, to develop, and time to bring in his guy and bring in that new coach. We all know usually Matt Ryan that first year, the new offensive coordinator, new philosophy, new language, it takes time, so.
Like I said, I don't give a damn who they bring in. We have to change the mentality.
Facts.
We have that at the end of the day, it has to be we have to make teams fear us offensively and defensively.
I agree.
And like I said, we can talk about a new quarterback or whatever. It's going to be the first. See, instead of just talking about a new quarterback, we have to figure out who this GM is going to be first.
Right, first and foremost.
Because if this GM is defensive, if he has a defensive mentality and you bring an offensive coach, like I said, it could work, but it's going to be some clashes on who they want. So at the end of the day, it just depends on the GM. And that's what Arthur Blank and Rich McKay said. It's all going to be based on the GM.
That's something that I want to expand on, because they I think they were kind of throwing Thomas Dimitrov out there when they pretty much stated that a lot of guys, when they was asked the question about the general manager and head coach, they didn't want guys, pulling the hierarchy, I think a lot of things that the coaches wanted to do, you know, Thomas Dimitrov just basically said that I'm the GM and I'm going to get my way ultimately. And that goes into a lot of free agency move. I know that Dan Quinn wanted to do a couple of things, bring in guys like was the defensive tackle. He used to play for Kansas City. Dontari Poe. He wanted to bring in Dontari Poe to kind of be, because him and Grady Jarrett actually had a great chemistry together. Those guys rock well together before he had the knee injury, but those guys rock well together. I know that he wanted to bring in a couple of guys from Seattle and whatnot, but Thomas Dimitrov, he was so focused on getting his style of players and his players and pretty much pulling. Honestly, I'm just gonna say this too. I didn't think we needed Calvin Ridley, to be honest. I thought we could have passed on Calvin Ridley. That right there was another move that a hierarchy move that your boy Thomas Dimitrov pulled. And if you go back and you watch that, that's something that Dan Quinn, not Dan Quinn, but Arthur Blank, he spoke on. He wants a GM that's going to work well with the head coach. They have to work well together because Thomas Dimitrov, he wanted to see his vision through. And at that point, when you have a general manager that wants to see what he wants to see instead of doing what's best for the team, this is what you get. You get coaches that don't care. You get players that are out of position playing positions that they don't really need to be playing, a la Vic Beasley, Tack McKinley. Those guys are outside linebackers. I don't know how many times where you said this, but they are 3-4 outside linebackers. We should have been in a 3-4 3 years ago, but we didn't do that. We stuck into it. So I think a lot of issues come. I think if we get this general manager, we get that right, we're going to see a tremendous turnaround for this Atlanta Falcons, because one thing we got to understand that we can't be so adamant on getting one particular guy. And I want to go into this also. It's going to kind of lead us to the next, but Mike Gill actually spoke on this. I don't know if a lot of you guys listened to 929 The Game, but he stated this earlier today that he just simply wants to draft a quarterback because he feels as though Justin Fields is going to revitalize the fan base. That's it. He don't want him for his talents. He just wants him here so the fans can be happy about something. What do you guys think about that?
I talked about that in one of my videos, Mike, the video that I made about Justin Fields. And I said, we have a marketing team. A lot of people don't realize it, but the Dallas Cowboy fans, they know Jerry Jones could sell you a bread. That dude is a salesman first. Mm-hmm. And that's why the Cowboys haven't been able to win. Like the Cowboys, he know how to market. Jerry Jones know how to market his team. And that's the same thing with us. I really feel like bringing in Todd Gurley, like we talked about, as much as I think Todd Gurley still had game left, I really feel like it was to sell those new jerseys that we unveiled this season. That was the biggest reason they brought Todd Gurley to Atlanta. It's like he played at Georgia. The fans already love him. We don't know how, like if Dirk Cutter knows how to use them, but we're going to bring them in because we can sell a ton of jerseys, a ton of these new jerseys. And I feel the same thing with Justin Fields. Even if he's not the starter right away, you know how many people are going to go out and buy that Justin Fields jersey? We see how many people hate Matt Ryan right now. So in that state, in the Falcons, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, when they do actually have fans back to full capacity once COVID is over, they're looking at this as a marketing ploy. Like, man, they're doing like this with their hands. Like, we can make a lot of money. They see dollar signs when they look at Justin Fields. So whatever's in that marketing on our marketing team for the Atlanta Falcons, they're like, we can market this guy. We can put this guy on billboards, just like they did with Michael Vick. And that's what Mike was talking about earlier. They use Michael Vick. When they seen Michael Vick, they seen dollar signs. This dude, we can put him in Nike commercials, the Michael Vick experience. This dude can have a shoe deal. And that's the same exact thing that with Justin Fields. I really think that they're looking at it as a marketing ploy. And that's why I say the Atlanta Falcons media and just the media in general is toxic. And that's another reason why I really don't want Justin Fields here. because even if Matt Ryan is still the starting quarterback, and we said, well, we're going to let him sit behind Matt Ryan. If soon as Matt Ryan have a bad game like he had against who was at the Chargers, they would have been like, put Justin Fields in the game. That would have been the next thing we would have been saying. We need to put Justin Fields in the game. The fans would have been screaming for it. The media would have been talking about it. ESPN would have been talking about, is there, trouble in paradise? You know how they do. They would have came up with any type of division. Any way they can create division, they would have tried to do it. So personally, I really don't want to see Justin Fields here with our Falcons. I do think that Matt Ryan would be a great mentor, to be honest, for any quarterback that's going to come sit behind him. And that's the only reason why I made the video, because I do think that Justin Fields could add some value to our team, but it's not right now. Like, I think a lot of people took it the wrong way. I still feel like Matt Ryan, if you want to win now, the best way to win now is to keep your Hall of Fame players. Matt Ryan and Julio are Hall of Famers. I've never seen a team get better getting rid of Hall of Famers. I don't care how old they were. You don't get better getting rid of Hall of Famers and
you're seeing it with New England. You're seeing it with New England right now. They got worse.
Way worse. Way worse.
So Kstylz, what do you think, man? Do you think just go with it? Because
let's be honest. If Matt Ryan throws an incomplete pass, they gonna burn his car in the goddamn parking lot. If Justin Field is here. Let's be real. They already tried to burn his house down twice. But the issue is and I look at it as far as the Justin Fields situation is, we know how this fan base is. And I ask this question. I ask this question all the time, and nobody really has an answer. So what happens if you bring this quarterback and he doesn't win? Are you going to turn on him too?
Woo! I was about to go there too. That's exactly.
Are you gonna do just like you did Matt Ryan and turn on him after year 2 of him starting? They turned on Vic too.
They turned on
2005 when Vic flipped the crowd off, they turned on him right then. Nobody remembers that. That's the reason why Michael Vick flipped the crowd off, because they turned on him in 2005.
He wasn't winning. When you don't win, they turn on you. Period.
Exactly.
And that's another reason I don't want that young guy here. Let's be real. I don't think a lot of people even thinking about this, because it's like, we're in Georgia. Everybody know the culture in Georgia. Everybody know the culture in the South. When that young fella, if he fails, they are going to light him on fire. They're going to call him all types of names. They're going to bar that. Like, this is going to set back a lot of people. And this is why, for me, you got to be very careful with a lot of drafting a lot of black quarterbacks. The reason being is because having guys like Lamar Jackson, you got to make sure these guys have the right, you got to have the right coaching staff and everything around him, surrounding him, in order for him to be successful. Because if he fails, he's going to be called N-words by not only black people, but a lot of white people. I want to say a lot of white people, but people are going to call him all types of N-words. They're going to throw stuff at him. They're going to, even in the NFL, going to say, see, this is the reason why we shouldn't draft black quarterbacks, because he failed. He's inaccurate. He's this, he's that. You see what they did to Lamar Jackson. They didn't even get a guy a chance to even, be a quarterback. They said, your ass is going to be a wide receiver. You're going to be a wide receiver. So we want here in Georgia, I do not want to be the franchise that ultimately sets back, the progression of what this NFL is right now. And Lamar Jackson, whether a lot of people realize this or not, we saw it with Colin Kaepernick. Like I said, I'm with the shit today, man. We saw what happened to Colin Kaepernick. That man spoke out one time and they bought his ass from the NFL. So if Justin Fields fails, This is really going to set back. So I don't want me personally, and this is for selfish reason. I don't want him to be any parts of Atlanta sports. Why? Is because the South in itself is the South. I'm just going to leave it at that. But I do not want to be the cause of a black man not being able, to succeed because of such and such. The Falcons didn't get this for him, and this is the reason why he failed. If he fails and we draft him at 4, if he falls to 4 and he fails here in Atlanta, that's going to set back so many people. It's really going to be a huge setback for a lot of African American quarterbacks,
especially here in Atlanta. Because you already see how the University of Georgia do with black quarterbacks as it is.
Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. That's a whole nother topic. But that's what we do. That's what we do here. We don't run away from the heat, bro.
Philly is just as bad. They boo they quarterbacks on draft day. We done seen that. They boo off their draft picks.
Philly boo Santa Claus. Philly don't.
Well, you get some alcohol in them, boy. They'll boo Jesus Christ if he came and talk about Satan. Yeah, but like I said, that's the only issue that I would have with that, because it's the fan base. Because you already see the Matt Ryan topic is made this fan base so divisive. Man. You literally got people ready to fight people because you said you want to stick with Matt Ryan. Or you got people that said they want a new quarterback. You got people literally ready to fight each other. I've seen it. I seen it today.
Yeah, man. I'm good on that. And like I said before, man, I just don't want to be the franchise that set back a lot of like I said, man, we already got enough issues with Matt Ryan. They're gonna blaze Justin Fields if he doesn't succeed, man. They gonna set his ass on fire.
Because if you actually look at it at the situation of what any quarterback that would have came after Michael Vick was already going to be public enemy number one, regardless of who it was, black or white or anything. If he wasn't running like Michael Vick, you was gonna be public enemy number one.
Right.
And I guess this one guy in this chat keep talking about what am I listening to. I could tell him, hey, you can turn off if you want. This, like I said, this ain't for everybody. Like I said, you fuck with us, you fuck with us.
Get the fuck on. If you don't like it, get the fuck on. It's really that simple.
Exactly. Because, like I said, I think also too is with a lot of us that saying that okay, we're not ready for another quarterback. You literally you have people who want to go in a new direction, and you got people that want to try to build on what we have. It's like you got one section calling somebody stupid. You got another one calling somebody basically saying you don't know football because we like mediocrity and stuff like that. Like I said, if you can't agree on a difference of opinion, you shouldn't be having a conversation with nobody.
Nobody at all. Right.
Nobody.
Just let's learn to deal with it, man. It is what it is. Just wait and see what happens. That's ultimately what we need to come down to.
Yeah, like I said, because if I see him again, I'll put his name out there and let y'all know who it is. I think y'all already know who it is. So if you don't like it, hey, he can just tune on off.
Yeah, we all good, baby. Oh,
exactly.
Gotta get that
baby. Reggie C says some fans are too blind to see Matt Ryan is not the problem. I wouldn't say they ain't blind. I think what it really is like I said, they don't care about the culture of the team. They just want the new face.
Yeah, they just want a new
face. That's all it is. Like I said, they want somebody that's going to sell the team.
This is my question for all the people in the chat. Do you want to win, or do you just want a new face? I want to win. I'm tired of losing. I don't know about y'all, but I'm tired of watching. I'm tired of watching bums. I'm sorry. I'm tired of losing. I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of it. Like, to be honest with you guys, I don't care about, like I said, whether Matt Ryan stays or goes, whether Julio Jones stays or goes. I want to win, and I want to win now. Like, me, Arthur Blank was preaching like patience and stuff like that in his press conference. And to be honest with you guys, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Arthur Blank get mad and be like, look, I want to win now. I ain't got too much longer left. I ain't got time to be waiting 20 more years for y'all to get it together. We need to win now.
That man's 78 years old. He ain't trying to wait.
Yeah, man, I'm just being real with you guys. What I wanted to hear Arthur Blank say was, hey, look, we relieving Raheem Morris of his duties. We relieving this coaching staff. I'm bringing in a new coaching staff, a new GM, and I want a whole new attitude. That's what I wanted to hear out of that conference. To me, he was too mellow for me. Like, yeah, we gotta be patient, and we know it takes time. No, y'all believe that we got the structure and the players that can win. Y'all just said that y'all believe we can win what we have. Like, we had a core unit to, the core pieces here. So to me, I want to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. That's what I would have said. Like, period. We need to win now. Right. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones ain't got all day. They getting old too. They ain't got time to be wasted. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got time to be wasted. We need to win now. Like, our window is slowly closing, and Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, they ain't got too many seasons left. So it's time to win ASAP. So we need to bring in whoever can turn this thing around. And if I were them and I was doing interviews, I would be putting pressure on these GMs and these coaches. Like, we need to win ASAP. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if that's too much pressure, then you don't deserve to be here, because we demand excellence here in Atlanta, and we want to win. We want to get back to the Super Bowl, and not just get back, but we want to win it. So that's what I would be saying. Forget all of this. It takes time. We know it takes time to put pressure on these coaches and hold them accountable now. Let them know now. If you playing games, if you're trying to show me a 5-year plan, that ain't gonna work. That's what I'll be telling them. That ain't gonna work.
Hey, look! Before the comment before that, Cameron said Matt Ryan is not going to win a Super Bowl without a running game and a defense. I don't know if y'all noticed, I was looking to my right, and I'm looking at this Super Bowl champions calendar that I do have. I look at every Super Bowl team that's on there. What is the common denominator for every team that has won a Super Bowl? Running the ball, key defensive stops.
That's it. As simple as that.
What can you do? That's the simple. Bro, I'm like I said, I'm just looking at it right now. Nick Foles is a Super Bowl MVP.
Why? They made an important trade that year too. They made an important trade at the end of the year to get I forget who was, but the running back from Miami.
Jay
Ajayi,
LeGarrette Blount. They were the number one rushing team that year in Philly.
That whole defense alone.
Yeah, that defensive line was real.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, hell, you can even go to the Peyton Manning Super Bowl in 2006. That defense was terrible when that playoffs came. That motherfucking defense didn't give up nothing.
You got that right.
They gave up.
Electric, bro.
Okay, Big Low Country asked me how many scrambling quarterbacks are in that list. Now, we talk about just guys that are little bit mobile, or we just talking about like full-blown Michael Vick mode?
I can tell you this, it ain't over 5. It ain't over 5. I can tell you now. I can tell you Russell Wilson on that list.
Russell Wilson.
Steve Young. That's I know.
Steve Young. Steve Young. Let me see.
If you want to consider Aaron Rodgers a scrambler, I don't really consider him a scrambler. He improve a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you could throw him in there too. Like I said, we could throw him in there. Like, well, yeah, you can kind of do it.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I can't really throw him in it because he's not really a scrambler. He
Right.
knows how to improvise.
Right.
He's
exactly.
like Patrick Mahomes. He's an improviser. There's a
Right.
difference. A scrambler is somebody. Let's see, a
You
quarterback
might be
that's run
Mahomes.
for over. A quarterback that's ran for over 600 yards. Let's see. I'm looking at it.
I told you, it ain't over 5. I can tell you now.
I don't see one.
It's a lot of Tom Brady up
Mhm.
there. Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Nick
Ben
Foles, right over.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger.
Because Patrick Mahomes is not even a scrambling quarterback, to be honest with you. He's an improviser.
Right.
He's an improviser. Like I said, those are guys that can scramble at times. But if you talk about a guy that runs for over 600-700 yards, I don't see one on the list.
Steve Young probably the only one.
Steve Young probably, he's the only one. And I this take us into that. Running quarterbacks, everybody say that running quarterbacks is the new thing. I'm here to tell you right now. Did a list. The top 5 quarterbacks, scrambling quarterbacks. Not Matt Ryan, but Michael Vick, Running Cunningham, Steve Young, Fran Tarkenton, Steve McNair, John Elway, and Toby Rote. Date back to 1950.
All right, so how many was that? That was 6 that you had?
That's 6 to be exact. 7 to be exact.
7. So 2 of them won Super Bowl. So 2 out of 7. That's less than 30. That's less than 40%.
That's less than 30%. These are the all-time lists when it goes for rushing yards at quarterback. And these guys, this is what you want. So running quarterbacks has always been in existence. Always has been in existence. And most of the guys that we want today, they're not even on the list. They're not even in the top 10. Russell Wilson is getting up there, but Russell Wilson is not even in the top 10. So guess what? All of this, we need to draft a mobile quarterback because a mobile quarterback, a lot of these guys don't even barely last 8 seasons. So that right there is a dangerous, dangerous idea. That's a huge risk to take a mobile quarterback. A huge risk. Because what you're doing as an owner, you want longevity. You want wins. You want a creative culture of winning. This is why he keeps saying, I want to win. I want to win. Because that ultimately, what that means for him, he's a businessman. This man just spent $1 billion. This is what people don't realize. This man just spent $1 billion. Just imagine go to just imagine going to, Walmart and you just put $5,000 on something and they run out and they tell you come back in 2-3 months, we'll have it. Shit. Hell no, I'm not gonna put. I want my shit now. I want to win now. Right. You don't want to. You want to hear I'll come back. You put your deposit on something, they tell you to come back in 5 months. Hell no, you want your money now. This guy wants to win now. He put $1 billion on this organization. He does not want to hear anything about we're gonna wait 3 years for Justin Fields to develop. Hell no, this man wants to win. That's his hard-earned money. $1 billion of his hard-earned money that he gave to us as fans to enjoy that stadium. He put that into us. And you guys telling him, nah, Arthur Blank, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna wait. We're gonna wait to give you your $1 billion back. Hell no, are you crazy? You fucking crazy? Absolutely not.
I ain't got no ball.
Yeah, Daniel Air, Cordell Stewart was another one. Well, was another runner, but like I said, they didn't really use him like that. Like I said, they called him Slash for a reason. The only reason they had to play him at wide receiver.
Yeah,
half the time. So like I said, we're and I want to make this as a reminder. We are not saying that we don't need to draft a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't saying running quarterbacks is a bad thing. We're just saying that the way that this NFL is now, where you got defensive ends running 4.29s,
Chase Young,
linebackers running 4.3s.
Chase Young is a damn animal. That dude, whoo. Lord Jesus. I'll fold up. That dude started chasing me.
And you have more teams running zone coverage now than ever. And the only thing that worries me about Trevor Lawrence is, and I don't know if y'all paid attention to him all year, is this motherfucker likes to try to run people over.
Yeah, that's Cam Newton written all over. I don't want no parts of that. Cam can't even barely lift up his damn arms now. I'm good on that one, dog. No, sir.
Can you imagine a linebacker today gets run over by Trevor Lawrence? They gonna want to kill this dude because they see him they see him looking like sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Ronnie Bad.
He looked like Matt Riddle, and he running them over. These motherfuckers gonna try to kill him in the league. He best to get his slide on.
He better.
So
Sweat is a monster too. Yeah, man. These defensive ends will murk you, and you don't want to end up like Alex Smith, man. Like your leg, these dudes do not care. These dudes are animals, bro. They are after you. So running quarterback, we saw what happened to Michael Vick. The same thing happened to Michael Vick. I don't know if you guys remember. They playing Baltimore. He tried to scramble in the end zone. He got scrambled in the end zone. In Baltimore, he got his leg caught up under somebody and broke his ankle. Like, look, man.
Oh no, that wasn't to the end zone. They tried to run a draw play up the middle.
Oh, yeah.
He was scrambling, got his leg broke. That's why.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I folded up.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly.
I don't want that. You'll have to invest in tools. That's to be real. That's the reason why Matt Shaw was traded away. They drafted Matt Shaw because they couldn't trust Michael Vick to stay healthy. This is the thing that you have to do when you invest in mobile quarterbacks. You gotta have a backup quarterback, a quality backup quarterback, because these guys are going. There ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. A mobile quarterback is going to get hurt. Period. You see Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you just said that. I'll give you a perfect example. Washington Redskins 2012. What happened in that draft? They drafted RG3 in the first round and Kirk Cousins in the fourth round.
Yep. You gotta double up on quarterbacks, man. You gotta double up on mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah, man.
If Deshaun get hurt, the whole organization is going down. If Deshaun and there you go. You see it.
And I don't think they remember that 04 season when Michael Vick got hurt, where we had to play Doug Johnson and Kurt Kittner all year.
Because we traded away Matt Shaw. We didn't have Matt Shaw. He was gone.
Yeah. Now, Matt Shaw came after that year. The year after that was
after Michael Vick still got injured even.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I had that 04 season played in my head because I remember Doug Johnson couldn't play worth a damn, and they tried Kirk Kittner and they ended up being worse.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, that was horrendous. I'm good on that. Michael Vick go down, bro. Michael Vick, Justin Field go down. We are screwed because we don't have a backup. Right. Y'all really gonna be singing honestly, I just want to pocket passer. I don't trust mobile quarterbacks. They are exciting, but they get injured a lot.
I mean, I could go for an improviser myself. It don't have to be no 500-600 yard a year scrambler. I can go for an improviser.
Yeah, I call that a pocket passer. I don't think that's scrambler. I think that's just like Mike. Even Matt Ryan is an improviser. I still think that's a pocket quarterback. It's me personally.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Because
Well, personally, I don't mind a quarterback that scrambles if you keep your eyes down the field, but it's not a ton of Russell Wilsons. Russell Wilson is like, he's not the average. He is an anomaly. Russell Wilson is one of the guys that actually protect himself when he runs outside the pocket, and he knows how to slide because he has that baseball background. But every quarterback don't have that background. We remember when Michael Vick was here, he didn't even know how to slide. They was trying to teach him how to slide, and he still didn't know how to do it. You know, a lot of these guys, RG3, and a lot of these guys that are runners, everything is based off their instinct. So they don't know how, they've never been taught how to slide, or they've always been the best athletes where nobody's ever been able to catch them. So they feel like, oh, I'll get out of bounds or I'll outrun this person, and that's how you get hurt. Like Michael Vick got, broke his leg. That's how it happens, because you think you're the best athlete on the field, but once you get to the NFL, it's a whole different level. These guys are faster than you. So you're going to get caught. It's just a matter of time, so.
Yeah. So and then you have to think about the culture that Michael Vick had to play under as well. You have to remember when they got rid of Dan Reeves, because Dan Reeves was not about to let him be a superstar. He was going to try to blend him into being a great quarterback.
Right.
But what happened was the Falcon franchise saw, like you said, saw money in him running the ball. And they brought in a coach that just said, Mike, do what you do. If you don't see it, just run.
Just run.
So I like I said, that was set up to doom from the start right there. Once I saw Jim Moore Jr., all I could think about is his dad in them epic damn press conferences.
Playoffs. I just think we win the game. I just hope we win the game. Like, what?
Exactly. Hold on. So is that one of the other questions? Is what do you think? Is that one of the other questions you wanted to ask as far as what do you think we should do in the draft? Is that one of the questions you got?
Yeah. Let's just go that. What we think?
I see. Because I think a lot of people are starting to get into what they do in the draft, so I say we might well go and hit that topic right there.
Okay. Let's just go to that. Dang, I didn't write that down. But yeah, let's go on that. Where to start? To be honest, of course, everybody wants to know. I've made a video. Juice made a video where we kind of give our ideas on what we expect or what we would do with the draft. But what do you think? What do you guys think? Juice, start with you. Where should the Falcons do, and what do you expect the Falcons to do?
It all depends on who the GM is and who they hire as the head coach. Personally, if you're just asking me, if I were the GM, who would I draft? I would either look at moving back. And the reason I say move back, we don't really have no cap space. So being that we don't have the cap space, we really need to get, we have to hit in the draft. We have to hit in the draft. Because we can restructure some of these guys like we've been doing, Grady Jarrett, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, but you only can restructure so much. We don't have enough where we can restructure to possibly bring in a difference maker. Like last year, how we brought in Todd Gurley and Dante Fowler. Now we have Dante Fowler on the book, so he probably will be here next year. We basically on the hook for his contract. So at this point, if I were the GM, I would move back, try to move out of that position, because there's other teams that really need a quarterback that's going to possibly try to move up to get one of these quarterbacks if they're still on the board. So I would see what we can get, see if we can get a king's ransom, that fourth pick. And if we can, then I would start trying to build this defense. Real talk. Like, I would first look at, let me say this. If we have to stay at that fourth pick, I would probably take the tackle Sewell from Oregon, because we're preaching the trenches. So to get, to make the trenches better and to solidify that offensive line, I think he's the best. Like on my draft board so far, out of the guys I've seen, to me, he's the best out of what I've seen on tape. So I think I would go and get him to try to solidify that line. Maybe we can move McGarry to that either inside. I don't know if Sewell can play inside, but what I've seen out of this dude is dominant. He's a dominant offensive lineman, just kind of like the kid that plays for the Indianapolis Colts when they drafted him at guard, and he changed basically. You know, he became an impact player instantly for the Colts. He changed the culture there on that line, and they actually finally started to protect the quarterback because that's what they were missing when Andrew Luck was there. Andrew Luck wasn't protected, and we've seen the last couple years, Matt Ryan, the last 3 years, been sacked over 40 times. So I really feel like if we bring in that offensive lineman, he could come in and solidify that line because we're really just missing that guard position. So if we can maneuver it somehow, let him play the left tackle or right tackle, and maybe slide McGarry on the inside, and then we'll have Chris Lindstrom there on the inside, probably Hennessy at the center position. We probably could solidify that line, and that'll help us run the football better because we know the trenches hasn't been the same since 2016 when we lost Andy Levitre and when Chris Chester retired. Pretty much the last, since then, our offensive line has been in shambles. So if we can bring in Sewell, I would do that if we had to stay at the 4th pick. But if we don't have to stay there, I would move down, and I possibly would try to go and get some defensive players. I would possibly go with either the kid from Miami, Greg, whatever the guy's last name is. I forget now. But Greg, I know his first name is Gregory. I think it's like Rousseau or something like that. I would either go with Gregory Rousseau or I would go with Patrick Surtain II because I didn't realize Patrick Surtain, that dude, I've seen some of his tape. I didn't realize he's like 6'2", 200 pounds. And if we have like 2 lockdown corners, him and AJ Terrell, we really could do some things if we could lock that down, especially if we switch to the 3-4 scheme as I was talking about, because then we really wouldn't need to go after a ton of defensive ends. Because at that point, all of the linebackers that we have, like a Michael Walker, those guys will become the pass rushers. So really all we would need at that point later in the draft is maybe like a couple of defensive tackles to put on the inside because I really don't like John Kaminsky, too much. He's like, to me, a rotational guy. We need another dominant big guy that can stop the run and that can penetrate that pocket and push that pocket with Grady Jarrett. So we can go in and we can probably get that in the later rounds. So I probably would go after either Gregory Rousseau if we move back, because from what I'm hearing, he's not a top 5 pick on a lot of the draft boards, and he needs to work on his hand technique and stuff like that. But if we move back, then I think he still will be on the board because I think these quarterbacks are going to come flying off the board. So he should still be there if we have to move back maybe in the middle rounds, in the first round. And we can either take him or we can get Patrick Surtain, and then we'll be solidified at that corner position because then you'll have 2 dominant outside corners at that point that's going to continue to develop. We already have Isaiah Oliver has played well in the slot, and then you still have Kendall Sheffield, to me, who plays well in the slot. He plays, to me, better in the slot than he does outside. So even if you were to move, say, Oliver out to that safety position, that free safety, you still have Sheffield that you play at that nickel position. So, and then at that point, we would just be making Foye, Michael Walker. We would let those guys be the pass rushers if we were to get Patrick Surtain II. So that's kind of what I would do. I don't know what you guys are thinking, but that's what I would do. I would try to move back out of that pick because I don't see the defensive player there that's dominant. If we stuck at that position, I'm going with the Oregon offensive line.
I'll tell you, I'll go with this one next. I'll pretty much trade down too. And for what I've seen about Patrick Surtain Jr., I can agree with you. Because the thing about him as rangy as he is, he got instincts on him. Like I said, he got stuff that he need to work on. I'll trade down. I say if you could trade down to like the 10th pick or something, get you an extra 2nd rounder or an extra 3rd rounder in that. Like I said, then you could address your defensive end. Because remember, you still got an early pick in the 2nd round, so that's pretty much almost like a 1st round pick as well. So you can get your defensive end. Then, like I said, if people are looking for a backup quarterback for Matt Ryan that you can kind of develop, there's a guy that's in the draft that I do like as a quarterback. He has the same qualities as Justin Fields, but at the rate that he's going, he might be a second or third round pick, and that would be y'all Georgia fans seen him in Cincinnati. Y'all beat him, but the thing I like about his game, especially in Cincinnati, that offense, they use their tight ends a lot.
Yeah, we need to try to do that sometime.
So that lets you know that he's useful for the check down. He's good at checking down. Like I say, he'll be a project quarterback, but he'll give you that mobility that everybody wants for cheaper the price. And I did, like I said. But at the end of the day, this draft has to be mostly defense, to be honest. It has to be mostly trenches.
Yeah.
Trenches. That's offensive line and defensive line.
Yeah, you save money. Another thing also, like when you draft a lot of these offensive players, the offense is more exciting. They sell the tickets. So by default, these guys are going to be more expensive. So if you want to save money, it would be best for you to just draft the trenches and save, like I said, save yourself some money, man. So I don't think, well, I know for a fact that the Falcons don't have a lot of money as far as the salary cap is concerned, and you draft a quarterback, like I said before, your boy had a $36 million contract, and that's Joe Burrow, who's been the number one quarterback, and that's 23 about $23 million, guaranteed to him, with an average of each year $9 million. So each year that goes up $2 to $3 million for the next 4 years. So that's a lot of money each year for a quarterback that's just going to be sitting behind a quarterback that's already, designated to make about $35+ million a year. That's a lot of money that you just have at the quarterback position when you have other needs. And to add to that fact, a lot of people don't realize is that you have other guys that are due to make more money. Gray Jarrett is coming into his money. Deion Jones is coming to his money. Jake Matthews is going to make more money next year. Okay. So these guys are scheduled to increase. That's what happens when you get these roster bonus, when you get these guaranteed bonuses, it's prorated. So every year it's going to increase the way it's designed. So you're going to have to pay these guys. It's not free. Drafting these guys are not free, okay? It's not. That's not how things go. But I say if Penei Sewell is there, I take him because I think the dude is an absolute monster, man. I don't think you can pass up on a guy like that if he's sitting there. That dude is just cool. He's just a monster. I don't pass up on him, man. I really don't pass up on him at all. So I like Penei Sewell in that position.
I'm about to say, because you know who he kind of remind me of right now, NFL, who he remind me of? Taylor Lewan.
Yeah, he's very physical and he likes to get at it. Like he likes to punch. Mm-hmm. So I dang sure agree with that.
Oh yeah. I don't know if y'all knew that Devonta Smith won the Heisman tonight.
Oh yeah,
kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense.
Right, what's wrong with that dude?
Yeah. Somebody's definitely gonna trade up to kind of get this guy. That dude is a monster, man.
So that means our pick is gonna be real valuable with him winning the Heisman.
It's gonna be valuable. It's really gonna be valuable, and that's the wording that a lot of people don't realize when these owners and GMs, they speak in these press conferences, they use certain verbiage so they can understand. Other GMs understand the language that they're using in these press conferences to say, okay, I don't really like this pick. So guess what? All right, the bidding begins. These are words that they're saying not only to us, but they're talking to other GMs. And like I said, other GMs know the verbiage that they are pretty much stating in that. So I expect that the Falcons trade down. I think they're going to trade down at all costs because, again, these guys have issues with the salary cap. We can't ignore that. You know what I'm saying? They cannot ignore that. And drafting a quarterback in that position, I'm not saying it's impossible and it won't happen. Nothing is impossible. But based on what they have currently, they pretty much paid everybody. They paid all the key starters on defense, on the defensive side of the ball. They paid everybody, the key starters on the offensive side of the ball, with the exception of Calvin Ridley. And these are the decisions they have to make. So I expect them to trade down. I really do expect them to trade down if they can't. But if they can't, I think it's going to go to an offensive lineman, man. I really do. I really believe that because you're going to lose Alex Mack. I don't think he's coming back. If he does come back, he's still going to command at least $8 to $10 million a year at center. So he's not going to be cheap. So you can't do it. So let's go into this 2-point conversion, man. Kind of. I want to start it off because this is something for me personally. It's going to be a little bit outside. Well, it's going to be outside of sports, but I don't know if you guys know. I'm just recently getting this notification. But the great Dr. Dre is right now is in ICU. He had a brain aneurysm, and it's probably the greatest rapper, DJ, just producer, everything. Like Dr. Dre is Dr. Dre, man. We can't lose damn Dr. Dre, dog. So all prayers for me personally. I'm a huge Dr. Dre fan. So yeah, man. We can't lose Dr. Dre, bro. It's 2020, 2021 just started, bro. We can't.
Yeah, don't start that.
Like this, bro.
Don't play with me like that, bro. Don't start that off.
Yeah, so man, all the prayers and best wishes, and God bless you, man. Like we cannot lose Dr. Dre, bro. I just man, good gracious. You guys, that's all I got to say, man. That's just prayers up to Dr. Dre, man. Legend.
I'm about to say, before I get to mine, I'm looking at CBS. You know, I like to look at the CBS mock drafts and stuff like that.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if y'all saw my face, but they had a pick on here that kind of baffled me a little bit. They talking about the mock draft will be the Miami Dolphins gonna take Zach Wilson.
Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, because you know they got the Texans pick.
Yeah, but they don't gave up two. A day to damn be quarterback. Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. That's what I was looking at. I was like, dang. Man. I'm about to say they gonna do the Josh Rosen, give him the Josh Rosen treatment. Nick Turner, they basically said we picking Justin Fields, so you knew that was coming. But but like I said, we appreciate everybody coming in tonight. This is the Heavy Hitters Atlanta Falcons season finale.
Absolutely, man.
We ain't going nowhere. You just might not see us often like this, unless some crazy stuff happens. But right. We gonna still be around.
Absolutely, man.
So, like I said, you make sure you follow Mr. Mad Mike Sports. Get him close to that 5K.
Five time. 5K. That's what I'm talking.
Mr. Jude Talk Sports. Make sure y'all get them close to that 1,000.
We 20 away from 800. Y'all. 25 away from 800. 20 away from 800.
We got about 111 people in here. We need 20 of them to get the Jew. 800.
Yeah.
You talk sports. Y'all go sub me up, man. 20 away from 800.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mike. Before I get to mine, do you want to talk about this Joe Brady situation they talking about as far as him being a potential head coach? Before we get to that, you want to hit that right quick?
I don't necessarily like the idea of him as a head coach. I like him as a play caller. I think he's he like Eric Bieniemy, like Brian DeBall. He's creative, and that's what we need. So I wouldn't necessarily disagree with him being the head coach, but he has to have a plan for me to hire him, which is an experienced defensive coordinator to go along with him while he kind of finds himself. So I wouldn't say no, but I wouldn't necessarily say yes. It really depends on his plan on who he'll bring in as his defensive coordinator to convince me personally.
Madness said he don't want nobody named Brady near Atlanta.
Hey man, y'all go get Madness. They got his show Saturday, so you gotta check out Right Place Sports. That's my dude.
That's the public defender right there, and he's gonna be on there with Twisted Torch and the homie Rich. Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Also, make sure y'all check out ATL Sports Zone with Terror Artist 404 and the coach, Bit Low Country Sports, 8 p.m. And y'all don't want to miss Lush Exchange after that at 9 p.m. If you're thirsty as hell, you want some adult content, you tune to their asses at 9 p.m.
You want to talk about ass and titties. Ass and titties.
Ass and titties. That's the show right there. That's going to be the show for you. But I'm going to go ahead and get them.
Thanks for the plug, fellas. Thank you. Make sure y'all follow Lush Exchange.
Oh, my God.
And Miss Maggie. And Miss Maggie T, MS Maggie T. Thank you. Bye.
Here she go with the voice.
See, now she sounds what that 1-800 sex line. That's her. 1-800 sex line. That's the way she sounded. I seen them infomercials. Them shits had me laughing my ass off.
Hey man. Oh man.
But definitely what my 2-point conversion is going to come down to, and I think I kind of mentioned it earlier in the show, as far as difference of opinions. I think this society is kind of, I'm gonna just keep it. This society is fucked up on social media and all these platforms and stuff because you have people that have a difference of opinion. And as I said, we're not just talking about football, we talking about in general, where you'll have somebody that has something they got to say, and then you'll have somebody that want to call them, Madness, shut the hell up. He talking about 1-800 stroke. He talking about 1-800 stroke.
I'm going to come on back for my fans then, since they want me here anyway.
I stroke it to the east. I stroke it to the west. I stroke it to the woman that I love. Yes. Be stroking. Y'all probably wonder what the hell is that. Y'all probably wonder what the hell is that. Hey, this my best friend right here. See this? Yeah.
You're a musician, Kstylz. Harmonicas, drums, singing.
Hey, like I said, I may be fat, I may have a receding hairline, and I may crack jokes. I got a whole bunch of things that going on too. So Yes, sir. But
He gonna be that Jamaican on the street. Yeah, let me get off. Let me get off. Good night, people.
Oh man, but hey, look, I'm gonna let you go before me. I gotta finish my thought. Go ahead, Ju.
All right, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in all season. This is the season finale of the heavy hitters. Of course, if something big happening, like when the coaches finally get that pink slip, I'm sure we're gonna pull up on y'all and have something for y'all because it's coming. They just trying to get through all of their interviews. They're doing their due diligence. I really don't think that Raheem Morris and those guys are coming back. I really just think they did that just to save face. I really don't think that Raheem Morris, to be honest, I wouldn't even give him an interview, but that's me personally. But he definitely not coming back. They're just trying to do their due diligence, make sure they bring in the right GM, make sure they bring in the right head coach. And as they say, patience is a virtue. So I think that they're doing the right thing because the first time, you guys remember when Dan Quinn was hired, they didn't want to wait. They could have had Rex Ryan, they could have had somebody else, but they kind of got impatient. So I think this time they need to look at every single candidate, do their due diligence, look at the background of these coaches, look at what their plans are. And, personally, like I said, I really don't care whether it's an offensive minded. Personally, I want an offensive minded coach, but if it's a defensive minded coach, as long as they bring in the right offensive coordinator or as long as they bring in the right defensive coordinator or either ends of the spectrum, I think as long as the GM's the correct GM and they bring in the correct, one of these offensive coordinators that understands pre-snap motion, understands creativity, and understands being balanced, running the football, passing the football, I think that we'll be good to go. But with that being said, you guys make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we 20 away from 800. So y'all hit that subscribe button. I also started my NBA content a couple of days ago for my Cleveland Cavaliers, but I'll also be bringing y'all just NBA content in general while we kind of on break and, while we're waiting on the new GM and waiting for the new head coach to be hired. Because from what they're saying, it's going to possibly be like 1 or 2 weeks for them to get through all of their interviews. So it could be a little bit before we finally find out who that GM is going to be and who that head coach is going to be. But with that being said, like I said, I appreciate you guys. As we always say, AFN, Atlanta Falcons Nation, is just not us here that y'all see on the screen or in front of the camera, but it's all of you guys. So we really appreciate you guys supporting us all season long, even though it was a tough season. 4-12. I thought we were going 11-5, so I was wrong again. We went 4-12, and we finished last in the division. So we all hoping for better in 2021. And as always, prayers up for Dr. Dre. Prayers up to him and his family. And with that being said, I'm gonna kick it back over to Kstylz.
Well, since T Baby want to say fuck y'all, I guess since this is basically one of the guys.
He's so cute. He's mad.
Go suck on your mama's titty. But
goodness.
Like I said, these are the type of guys, like I tell everybody, hold on, let me do it right. If you didn't like, and I say, if you didn't like the content that we have to UT, baby, you should have never tuned in the first place.
Oh my goodness.
Like I said, this is like a Marvel movie, so you better make sure you stay for the ending credits because you don't know what the hell you're gonna get on this.
Oh man. Oh my goodness.
But like I said, hold on. Let me do it again. This is the hater note right here. That's for all the haters. Because at the end of the day, if you hate somebody that badly or you disagree with somebody that badly to where you think they stupid or you want to tell them fuck y'all and all that stuff, you're wasting your energy. You put, like I said, if you want to take that negative energy to put it on somebody else, you are reflecting your own low self-esteem. Hey.
Oh man.
Hey, Joseph. I'm just mad. My banjo ain't came in yet, so hey, you just better stay tuned. I got a ukulele too, so you better stop playing. See, but at the end of the day, like I said, this the heavy hitters, man. This, like I said, we appreciate giving this content to y'all all season long. Don't matter who you a fan of, a team a fan of, we appreciate everybody that sit here and watch.
Go Pack, go. Go Pack, go. I gotta say that. 4th Marine Sergeant Bull Fisher Raider, whatever. I don't know. That's a damn name. God damn. Bull Fisher Raider.
Hey, and like I said, but my thing was I was gonna say is, hold on, let me play the hater note one more time. T-Baby said he played that for free chicken sandwiches. Dude, for one thing, anybody that bringing up chicken sandwiches to your ass, you the only one that uses coupons to try to get free shit.
Oh man,
coming up here looking like coming here with a name like T-Baby, but you probably I'm not even gonna use that word. Like I said, oh, that's such a sweet baby. Oh, he need. Hey. I think Daddy need to go burp him because.
What's your name, baby? What's your name? My name T-Baby. My name T-Baby.
Sound like he sounds like a failed rapper. He probably got a song that he hopes everybody listen to, but nobody don't want to hear it.
Oh my God, bro.
But like I said, at the end of the day, like I said, that kind of guy right there, and I tell everybody in the chat, do not put your energy towards guys like this because these guys look for people to be miserable. He said, you look like you wear orthopedic Falcon shoes. I said, this motherfucker wear pro wings with the holes in the big toe. We go all night. But these folks gotta go to sleep. So, like I said, we ain't even gonna work. You know what? I'm just gonna do this. All right, we ain't gotta worry about him no more. But basically, guys like that are people you do not need to put your energy towards to, because they look for attention from anybody. These type of people, like I said, and these go to internet trolls and people that want to down your opinions because you don't agree with them. Like I said, these guys right here, these are the guys that gonna get left behind from the pack. I don't know about y'all, but if you have one of these type of people as your friend, you better get rid of them real quick. Because if you don't, them motherfuckers will drag your ass to the ninth circle of hell. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, like I said, I'm gonna just say it again. Just hold on. Let me do the right note. Protect your energy.
Protect it, man. Absolutely. Protect the energy.
Yeah, that'd be that's it for me, man.
Hey, man. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Continue to support your boy here, man. Mike Sports still going for that. That 5K. Jude is going for 1,000. So we need at least, we got 80 people in here, man. Just get your boy Jude to 800, man. That's all we expecting for the next couple of days. We're trying to get him to 800 in the next couple of days. So everybody, he's doing NFL content, NBA content. I think, Jude, you're gonna do predictions, right?
Yeah,
for the playoffs.
Yeah, playoff predictions. Yeah.
He's going to do the NFL predictions. He's going to do a lot of NBA content. So you guys go ahead and subscribe to him. Like I said, man, I'm just trying to get to 5K. That's just a huge personal goal for me. Yeah, that's just a huge personal goal for me, just to try to get to 5K, man. Kstylz, Kstylz just trying to lead, man. He's just trying to live. That's all Kstylz trying to do, right?
Hey, man. As long as I'm breathing tomorrow, I am good.
Hey, he good, man.
As long as your heart is doing that, you good.
That's it, man. So y'all continue to support us, man. Lush Exchange will be tomorrow at 9 o'clock. ATL and Sports Zone is at 8 o'clock. All right, 8 o'clock. Following that is Lush Exchange. So do not forget that. Again, man, just continue to support us. We absolutely love each and every one. You don't have to be Atlanta Falcons fans as long as you just show us love and give each other respect. Brian Little, yeah, we just need, we know that you love Justin Fields. You said like 40 times already, man. I'm not sure your name should be T Baby, but that's a whole nother story. But continue to support your boy here, man, My Sports, and we out of this bitch.